We had a big one come through this weekend. Actually, two come through this weekend from one of our favorite orgs to chat about. 100 Thieves. They made a big move here in the LCS, signing former Schalke mid laner Abbedagge away from the soccer club. And now they have three mid laners with Tommy Boy and Demonte there. But you figure Abbedagge is coming in and starting for the squad. They also announced the signing of former Cloud9 coach, Jin SKT player Reapered. Not that anyone ever remembers that. Reapered, we last saw him in the summer split of 2020 after the team failed to make it to Worlds after winning their first championship in 4 years. I think it was 4 years, the LCS title. But yeah, 100 Thieves making these moves. Ellis, what do you... What jumps out at you when you see these moves that Papa Smithy announced this past weekend?
So originally when I saw both, I didn't understand what was going on.
Let me tell you. So what actually happened was Someday played so fucking bad last split that they just gave him residency. They were just like, dude, you shouldn't even count as an import anymore, and they just let him have it. So that's what happened. They saw that Jace. They saw that fucking Jace. They're like, "That's NA right there. You're one of us now."
God damn it! All right,
Jesus
so
Christ.
Abba. So I was with Someday getting residency. I was actually I don't know. I was half expecting Korean import, and I thought that they would try to go for someone in the Korean market, or they would try to make a trade or like some sort of a buyout, right? Even though it's mid-split, because there are a lot of players on the benches in Korea that I think a lot of players don't know about, especially because challengers in Korea got no English broadcast. So like if people recognize how good Gumayushi is, right, on T1's like 10-man roster thingy, other teams have players that are actually insane, but no one sees them play. So it's not that like even the starters in LCK aren't necessarily purchasable, because I think that they are. I think most of them are. So when I saw that 100 Thieves went for Abbedagge, I'm just sort of like, what? Because I mean, it's not going to make you win NA. So I feel like this move is just it's
to try to get third. It's to try to get third.
Worlds, right. Yep. Just to get to Worlds. And it rubs me wrong, because I feel like you could try to get to Worlds, but also have you could have probably made better options. And then the Reapered thing, when I saw that was a head scratcher and a half, because I think that I've made a lot of my thoughts on the recycling of staff very known over the years. Obviously Reapered, I wasn't expecting him to ever end up returning to a team in any capacity. It's really weird for me. I don't think it'll do anything. That's the TLDR. It won't do anything. I mean, the player signing is all that will matter.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like staff changes are kind of hard, and it's so telling is when you go watch the video with Papa Smithy and Reapered, and you hear them like talk, and like Papa Smithy's like, yeah, and the goal is to potentially win, and then like Reapered's like, top 2 would be I hope we get top 2.
I want to make the finals. Lots of time.
Just make the finals?
Start from there.
Okay.
Start from there, top 2.
That's hey, sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me too.
It's like, what the fuck, man? Like, you can't even like give us some bullshit. You can't even confidently lie on your fucking intro to the team. You can't even be like, and we're here to win it. Like, I could fucking lie. I could look the viewers in the eye. Like, look, I wouldn't have quit streaming if I didn't want to win LCS, and that's always going to be the goal. And I know we can do it. I've done it before. Like, if I was Reaper, I would have said some shit. I did it last year. I could do it again this year. Like, we got even none of that. He's like, yeah, I mean, I hope we could get top 2, maybe. Like, what the fuck?
No,
It's actually crazy.
No, man. I like how they balanced each other out, right? This acknowledgement of, hey, we messed up this year, we didn't get where we wanted to, reaffirming the transparency that Papa Smithy has promised, and then his eternal optimism with like Reaper being like, yeah, well, like being for real, top 2 works, right? So let's touch on Abbedagge a little bit. here, just because for people that don't know, the pandemic has hit everybody hard, but kind of like the basketball teams that we've seen here in the LCS, they've had to scale down, like Golden Guardians, like FlyQuest. The same thing happened with the soccer clubs in Europe, specifically Schalke, and they've been very transparent about how financially they've been hit across all of soccer operations. It was almost to the point where the club was going to go bankrupt and they were going to just disappear, right? They didn't have money to function. So they were looking at all options. They sacked like a lot of their soccer team staff. They were looking at the LEC team. And so this move makes sense for them. How does this make sense for Abbedagge to go from LEC with probably better teammates to 100 Thieves and now have a lot of pressure of being the piece?
He probably got a fat fucking contract. That's how it makes sense. Like I heard the buyout was like insane, and like his contract was like pretty handsome. So I think that's just what it is. Also, it's probably easier to make worlds in NA compared to EU. Like if you look at where they are in EU, it's like, okay, so how are they going to be better than Rogue, Mad Lions, or G2? It's probably easier to join 100 Thieves and make 100 Thieves better than TSM, like much easier goal. So I think not only will he be able to potentially make worlds easier, he's going to get paid more. And yeah, it's going to be, generally speaking, I would think that even though there's going to be more eyes on him, I would assume that it's probably less stressful than playing in LEC.
Yeah, the couple of things that popped up on Reddit yesterday, it was $1 million or euros, sorry, for the transfer of Abbedagge from 100 Thieves to Schalke, and that Nuclear Int, their academy mid laner, will be bumping up. That is the two announcements there. Ellis, how do you feel like Abbedagge fits into this? Like, what is he getting out of here?
So in LCS, I mean, I don't think it's gonna change any dynamic in mid. I know that sounds pretty weird, but I don't think there's gonna be anything different. Also, what I expect is if we follow any sort of tradition, he's gonna experience decline due to playing in an A. So once he declines, and then once I don't think he's a star player at all, right? So that's why I think the acquisition is really, really, really fucking weird. Think once he's in an A and he begins to experience decline, which he inevitably will in summer, that means that the level that we're expecting him from Schalke probably won't be his level, which is really fucking insane to think about. And I think we just end up getting a player that's serviceable or passable, right? But does that necessarily convert into a third place? I don't know. I mean, they're only really competing against TSM, right? Like
right.
that's ultimately
I
what
think
it is.
there is a true race there for that third place, though. So
sure, yeah, sure. I mean, I think I could see that happening. Like, my big concern or thought process is what happens in the off season with Riot and the import rule and all this other stuff. Because then I think that gets revisited. The other thing about this move for him is, like, let's say that his paycheck is really big, right? Abbedagge.
Sure.
When you go to NA and then you pay the taxes, especially California, right? You lose a lot of money there. But if you perform poorly in NA, it's probably going to be hard to go back to LEC. So in a weird turn of events, I feel like, I don't know how old he is, but I think this happens with players a lot. They're really short-sighted. It's either perform well in NA, or he might have gotten paid a lot in isolation, but I think if he had stayed in LEC, he probably would have had a more tenured career. Whereas now I think it's probably unlikely he can go back to it. And so now this is do or die, and post-taxes, his earned income is probably less than what he would have netted by staying in LEC for like long-term, or I mean, obviously that's just theorizing, but I don't think a lot of people think about this stuff.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to throw it out there, because it felt like that, right? Is a middle tier mid laner possibly as he slots into the LCS, but maybe that's all 100 Thieves needs. And to your point about not being able to go back, we've seen other players go back, right? We saw Kabe come take the TSM contract, and then
Yeah, he played
get
pretty
dropped
bad.
in
And
Split.
then,
Now and then he moved back over to, was it Misfits? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So not that it's unprecedented, and I think when you make a move like this, you're not trying to mitigate your losses, you're trying to maximize your gains. And so the upside for Abbedagge being here is getting to Worlds and being a valuable part, and joining a team that has been searching for that answer. So
probably gets free 100 Thieves merch as well. So pretty fire. I mean, that's pretty fire.
Well, that's the end of our video. You want more though, right? Thought so. Good thing YouTube makes it so easy to watch more VENN Esports. Easier than keeping me in frame. Whoa. Whoa. While you're watching me dodge around, click on these videos.